everyone, Voodoo here, and we're here today with a video on if you should play Survival Hunter in Season 1 of The War Within. Now, I did one of these for Demon Hunter in general, both Havoc and Vengeance, a few weeks ago. I'm getting to Survival Hunter now. Survival Hunter got a basically complete rework from the ground up and has 2 new hero talent trees as well. So there's a lot of new stuff to go through, a lot of fun stuff with Survival Hunter. So let's just dive right in. Should you play Survival Hunter in Mythic Plus? Before we do though, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And with that out of the way, let's talk about Survival Hunter. So we're gonna go over some changes first. We'll do a quick little synopsis here. Don't want to get too deep into the weeds in it. But basically, both the Spec tree and the Class tree have entirely been reworked. Tons of things have been moved, tons of things have been removed, tons of things have been added. So you're basically playing a brand new, well, not brand new. There's a lot to like from old melee Survival Hunter. They're not ranged still. Probably will never happen, but there's a lot to like still from older Survival Hunter with a lot of new stuff thrown in as well, and it's really fun. So class tree wise, a lot of changes have been moved around. A lot of the damage nodes have been taken away, which is fine because they're actually added, like baseline, the power that those damage nodes gives you has been worked back into the class baseline, so you don't really feel that loss. And what it does mean is you can take a lot of the new utility options in the tree, as well as some of the new defensive stuff. So big changes here, big things. 2 charges of Survival of the Fittest, which is really huge. Explosive shots, a lot more core now. They've added, a natural causes, which is a dot increase, as well as a bit of an execute thing. They added a cool thing called Emergency Salve, which Feign Death and Turtle remove all poison and diseases, which is really cool. And there's a bunch of other random utility stuff in the tree as well. Just tons of fun stuff, tons of options to pick through. They've also given Hunter access to just AoE shot stops, which is really good. They've given it access to bursting shot as well down here. Implosive trap knocks things up instead of back, so you can actually use this as a stop in Mythic Plus. And altogether, the tree is just so much better than it was before. Now, Owl is gone. Oh well, but all in all, much better tree. In terms of the class tree, they've actually really changed the rotation around to a sizable degree. Big stuff here is they've removed a lot of the weirder talents. Harpoon, Fear of the Eagle, or sorry, Aspect of the Eagle are both baseline now. And they've added a brand new resource system, Tip of the Spear. Now beforehand, this did something completely different. But now basically what this does is every kill command you use gives you a stack of a buff, which increases the damage of the next spell you use by 15%. And what this does is form the base resource loop gameplay of Survival Hunter, where you're trying not to cap on your focus, trying not to cap on your kill commands, and trying not to cap on your Tip of the Spears. You're doing rotation that's kill command, and then either Mongoose Bite or Raptor Strike, depending on what you take. Mongoose Bite, kill command, Mongoose Bite, kill command, Mongoose Bite, kill command. And you're using those Tip of the Spears on higher damage abilities when they come up, using them on things like Flanking Strike, using them on things like Wildfire Bomb, things like Kill Shot, things like Explosive Shot, which is a large source of your damage now. So you're doing that and you're weaving in those abilities. So you'll do Kill Command, Raptor Strike, Kill Command, Raptor Strike, Kill Command, Wildfire Bomb, Raptor Strike, Kill Command, Flanking Strike, Wildfire Bomb, Raptor Strike, Kill Command, Explosive Shot, Raptor Strike. You know what I mean? So it's that base resource loop added in with a bunch of other abilities. That's not the only thing they've done. They've reworked Flanking Strike to work with this as well. This is now a a Tip of the Spear generator that also gets more damage from it. They've made Spearhead a lot more usable, so to speak, collapse a bunch of the talents down into it. They've basically reworked Coordinated Assault, where now what this does is just a flat 20-second, 20% damage increase, which is really good, because the previous iteration of this was really clunky and it really wasn't that fun or usable even. It was so bad and clunky, but they reworked that to make it much better. They've added things to make it stronger with Bombardier. Whenever you cast it, you gain 2 charges of Wildfire Bomb, and when it ends, your next 2 explosive shots are free and have no cooldown, which is really big. They've also added this node here to make it better, either by making it a 60-second cooldown that also gives you stacks of Tip of the Spear when you use it, or a 2-minute stronger cooldown, giving you additional Tip of the Spear stacks, more haste, and more damage from those stacks. So you have choices now to build into your Coordinated Assault. You want a more often Coordinated Assault or a less often but more powerful Coordinated Assault. And altogether, the rotation flows very smoothly. The different colored bombs are gone. The rotation really hinges around bombs and Explosive Shot now, which is super fun. And it really is a dance between you and your pet, weaving in and out those abilities, kill commanding, weaving that in between your bombs, between your Raptor Strikes, and everything like that. So before we go into the Sentinel stuff and Pack Leader stuff, I will do a small little rotational demo just to show you guys what I'm talking about, and we'll talk about the hero talents. So we're going to do a quick little single target rotational opener thing just to show you what I'm talking about. Now my stats on this character are all wonky. I have 6% haste because I kind of just leveled this up to max. it's week 1, whatever. The basic idea here is we're just using all of our abilities, then we're going into our kill command rotation. So we're gonna start off with Wildfire Bomb and Harpoon together. Come in, Mongoose Bite, Bomb again, then use Coordinated Assault, followed by Kill Command, followed by Spearhead, followed by another Bomb, followed by Flanking Strike, followed by Explosive Shot, and move into rotation here. So we want to weave in our kill commands with all of our stacks tip with the spear, make sure we don't cap on our focus, don't cap on our kill command charges, and just spend these on the highest priority ability we have available. So you see here, it's a pretty chill rotation once you get down to that. But now at this point, you are going to overcap a little bit on a few different resources. Not a ton you can do about it. Just try and make sure you spend down, don't cap on bombs, don't cap on focus, spend all your things. And this is basically what I mean here when I'm saying we're weaving all of rotational abilities together. We're doing it in such a way where we're using kill command to not overcap on its charges, while also not overcapping on focus, while spending it on Mongoose Bite to keep our focus down, using it on bomb when it's available, and really feel like that idea where you are fighting in tandem with your pet, right? You can see here, once you get out of the CDs, it's a very cyclical rotation, and honestly, it's really fun and doesn't get too much more complex in the AoE either. Not going to show you in this video. I will have not Havoc, sorry, this is mostly a Havoc channel. I'm 2 years of saying it gets you, but I will have a survival hunter guide before we get into the full season. But with that out of the way, let us take a quick look at the 2 hero talent options to talk about if you should play one. All right, so first things first, let's talk about Pack Leader, one of the 2 options for Survival Hunter. Now, Pack Leader really does go deep into the thematics of Survival Hunter. Pack leaders have formed a deep bond and trust with their animal companions, allowing the hunter and their pack to hunt with a vicious coordination on the battlefield. Now, basically, it's all about attacking with your pet, which is really Survival Hunter stuff. That's kind of where everything stops. So the whole rotation of this thing falls around Vicious Hunt, where when you use Kill Command, it prepares you to viciously attack with your pet, causes your next kill command to do extra damage. Now, what that does in actuality, and there's other things in this tree where that want you kind of weave in your other things, but what this does is cause Survival Hunter's kill command to just do more damage than Raptor Strike. So what this does is lead to a rotation where you're basically only pushing kill command and very rarely spending, and basically just not capping on tip of the spear. Not very fun, not very good in that regard. Everything else in this tree is basically passive. You have like a kill shot bleed thing. You have this thing here where Vicious Hunt and Pack Coordination, which is another one up here, where whenever you attack with Vicious Hunt, your pet also attacks. Whenever you use Mongoose Bite, which you kind of ignore, but basically it allows them to stack twice, always active during your cooldown. You have things that are like crit scaling. You have this, every third pet basic is a guaranteed critical strike, and then your pet's basics crits also increase your crit damage. Pet's basic attacks have a chance to reset kill command and cause it to strike a second time. And then you have just like some passives down here, which deals more damage. And then this one here, Frenzied Terror, which is this one here. Pet's basic attacks a 20% chance to reset the cooldown. Whenever you consume it, you just get less Mongoose Bite damage. Mongoose Bite cost. This one here is the only actual visual where you summon another pet from your stable. So if we go into this tree here, we should go push kill command against this guy. My pet's on assist. We're just gonna push kill command, and it's gonna be doing extra damage whenever I use it. See here, Vicious Hunt is basically just doubling the damage on my kill command, and it's hit a point where I'm basically just using kill command as my only spender, my only generator, my only everything. Kill command is everything. I haven't changed my talents at all, so I'm not using any of the extra like kill command reset stuff, although I think naturally this build has basically everything. But it hits a point where your pet with kill command and Vicious Hunt are the 2 most damaging abilities, which isn't very good. And you can see here, there's basically no visuals. There's like no extra little things going on here. All we're doing is just using kill command and doing damage that way. So not very fun. Of course, you're still not capping on tip of the spear stacks as much as you can, as much as is possible with this. But it's not very fun. It's not very thematic. If we can get my pet out of combat here, it's on assist still. Come here. Okay, out of combat. I'll show you the only actual visual change to this tree, and it's only if you take this node, and basically all it does is summon an additional pet from your stable. So I have no idea what pet this will summon. I don't remember what's in my stable, but this will call an additional pack from my stable for 6 seconds. Additional pet, sorry. So if we use Coordinated Assault, my pet's on passive, but there we go. We got my moose, Harry. So Harry will kind of just hit the guy. No idea if it also works with kill command. Doesn't seem like it does, so that's a fun thing there. Harry's just kind of mailing the boss, which is very fun. Good job, Harry. But yeah, that's kind of the only visual thing. Is just sometimes if you use the other talent, you'll get a moose, which, well, not a moose, so you'll get your pet, which really sucks. Very passive gameplay, really undermines the rotation of Survival Hunter and redoes the rework completely, basically. So Pack Leader is a big stinker. Not a fan of this one. This one really does suck for Survival Hunter. It kind of makes sense for Beast Mastery because there's kill command's a spender for them, not a generator, but this, not it. All right, so the other one you have access to is Sentinel. Now, Sentinel isn't specifically to like a Survival Hunter kind of mythology kind of thing there. It's very night elf focused, so if you were in fact a night elf, then woo, good for you. Basically what it is they draw their power from nature's forces, dealing bonus arcane damage with their abilities, and calling upon mystical owls to rain destruction on their enemies. Now, I love the owl portion. The owl is really sick, but basically what this is a mechanic based on a dot. So both your trees are very passive. Whenever you attack an enemy, you have a chance to apply Sentinel, which stacks up. Whenever you hit a certain number of stacks, it will consume them and deal damage per stack, basically. And everything else in the tree revolves around those stacks. There's ways of generating more stacks, ways of guaranteeing stacks if you haven't applied one yet, ways of having the stacks just give you more focus, ways of having the stacks do extra damage, so AoE or execute damage, ways of having the stacks do AoE, and then this one here is just a little bit of extra stuff. So eyes closed, both of these revolve around your cooldown. Eyes closed makes your cooldown always apply a stack whenever you deal damage, which is actually really good for single target. Other one makes that whenever Sentinel deals damage, it reduces the cooldown of coordinated assault by 1 second up to 15, so you get this more often in Mythic Plus, which is also really, really good. The final thing in this tree, which is probably, in my opinion, the best thing and really fun, honestly, just the visual is kind of cool. Lunar Storm. Every 15 seconds, your next wildfire bomb summons an owl that conjures a 10-yard radius lunar storm at the target's location for 8 seconds. So if anyone played back in Shadowlands, this is very similar in idea and visual to Resonating Arrow, the Kyrian ability. But basically, a random enemy affected by Sentinel within your lunar storm gets struck for 36,000 damage every 0.4 seconds, and any target struck by this effect takes 10% increased damage from you and your pet for 8 seconds. So 8-second duration, 15-second cooldown, so you have almost 50% uptime on this. I think a bit more than 50%. And while enemies are within it, and they have Sentinel, which most enemies will have Sentinel, they take extra damage and take like a little bit extra damage, and then also have 10% damage done. Really, really powerful. Now, the downside of this, of course, is that it's a stationary thing. I'm going to drop a random point here just to grab Butchery real quick so I can show you the other visual. But all in all, very passive tree, but I do like the visual of the owl spawning. I think it's pretty cool. Now, it does pose issues in the fact that, you know, it's kind of a stationary ground effect. So if tanks pull out of it, you're kind of losing a lot of your damage. So I'll show you here. Throw a bomb, and here's the owl. So it kind of flies up, and you see a little owl summoned out, and he'll do the little Sentinel thing. I'll apply stacks to everybody here. And the other visual, which you might have just saw there, is that whenever I use Butchery, it discharges arcane energy from all the Sentinel stacks. So also kind of a cool visual. You can see it. It discharges them from 5 targets. Sorry, from all targets, but it only damages 5 targets each. So this is a pretty good like mass AoE thing, but it won't like, you know, scale exponentially like that. It'll scale pretty well in AoE, but won't scale out of control. So again, you know, AoE, we're butchering, it's applying Sentinel, it's consuming Sentinel. So rotationally wise, it's like not that complex at all. All you do is just summon your owl basically on CD. Owl is sick. I love the little visual. Look at the little guy up there, and he just kind of shoots little bolts down that adds a damage effect, and you AoE Butchery. And the same is true for single target. There just isn't the little Symphonic Arsenal AoE from Butchery thing. So if we just drop that, my pet's in combat. Drop that and grab a random talent if I can feign death to drop combat. Butchery's on cooldown. Wonderful. Well, if we just go hit like a single target dummy, it's a similar thing. It'll just kind of summon the owl, and the owl will sit there and just blast this guy with bolts while I'm hitting him, and we'll have him take extra damage. And it does a lot of damage. Lunar Storm absolutely blasts. Does an insane amount of damage, can crit, all that fun stuff. So really cool tree in that sense. Very passive, but I think the owl summoning all the time looks cool, but does feel bad if you get pulled outside of it. So to round off the video, should you play Survival Hunter? Honestly, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Survival Hunter's rework is really, really fun. There's a lot of depth to the class now with the tip of the sphere rotation, but the rotation is easy enough to grasp and pick up, and there's a good amount of skill expression with it. There's even like some minor like tweaks you can do for a little bit extra gain as you approach the top end to do more damage. But that expression of gameplay and the loop you have with tip of the spear, kill command, the bombs, the explosive shots, your Raptor Strike is really fun. The fantasy of attacking with your pet by weaving in all the kill commands is there. It's very strong. All the bomb damage you have, a lot of your damage is explosive shot and wildfire bomb. That is really fun. Really sells home the bomb juggler aspect of Survival Hunter that's been there for a bit now, but really is kind of a focal forefront goal now. I do think there are a few negatives. I think their hero talent trees aren't the best. I actually do like Sentinel. I'm coming from Havoc here, so both the Havoc trees are ass. Sentinel is cool in the fact that I like summoning the owl, and it does remind me of Resonant Arrow. Resonant Arrow, very strong ability. Now it is a ground ability. Ground abilities do suck, but in coordinated groups it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Pack Leader, on the other hand, just sucks. There's literally no visuals if you don't play that one talent. Its rotational impact is negative. It undermines the entire rework. It means you just kind of want to spam kill command and almost never use your main spender. Still using your tip of the spear stuff, but other than that, you're just spamming kill command as much as possible, which really undermines what they were trying to do with the rest of the spec tree. But the class tree rework gave them more utility in terms of group stops and stuff like that. Still no raid buff thing to get you into a Mythic Plus group. Like they have Hunter's Mark, but that's pretty whatever. But group stops now, survivability, there's a ton of defensiveness in the tree now, which is good. Spec tree is really fun, tons of damage options, and your damage is actually quite good. You're middle of the pack single target, but you're pretty good AoE, above average AoE. So your damage is very competitive. The rotation is really fun. The gameplay is fun. The Sentinel visuals are pretty cool if you like the owl. Pack Leader is a dud though. It's worse in every way than Sentinel. Sentinel will be used basically everywhere except for open world content, because Pack Leader makes your pet immortal, I guess, which is cool. But the biggest thing too is that there is still a pretty large stigma against Survival Hunter. A lot of specs that were underrepresented in high-end gameplay for a while get this stigma around them that oh, they're bad, never take them. Survival Hunter was broken, absolutely broken in Shadowlands, and that didn't do anything to dispel the stigma. So Survival Hunter is a really good pick. It's been a really good pick for a while now. The rotation changes, the rework makes it really fun, really enjoyable, and you really should pick one up. But there is going to be a stigma about just melee hunters in general. Even if it's better than BM and MM, even if it's the most fun thing in the world, there's always gonna be that stigma around Survival Hunter right now, where people kind of look at you funny about why are you playing that? I'm playing it because it's fun. Really cool stuff. I will have more Survival Hunter content, including a full guide, hopefully around the start of the season, before Mythic at least, probably Heroic Week at some point. But really fun stuff. Looking forward to see what they do with it. Hopefully they fix Pack Leader at some point, but Sentinel I think is enough for now. That it's very enjoyable, doesn't interfere with the rotation, and the rework is great. So there you guys go. That's my opinions on Survival Hunter. Pick one up, alt one, main one, whatever. It is a blast and you should try it. So hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you comment, and subscribe. And yeah, grab that spear, pick it up, grab a cat from somewhere, and just get going. So peace, guys. A big thank you to all of my channel members. Thank you Sky Elk, Andrew Keenel, 100,001 Zans, Brad Wisniak, Felfa Darren Dark Terror, and Magic Man 133. Thank you all so much. If you want to help support me and help fund the channels and the videos, follow the link in the description to become a channel member and get some cool perks in the process. Again, thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.